Welcome to Henna's epic Armageddon battle report. This is a 3000 point game between Space Marines and Death Korps of Krieg. The lists are net EA lists, and there will be a link in the description below. Then let's look at the armies. Unfortunately, I forgot to take the army video, so only still images. So here's the Marine army. We have tactical and devastator detachments, Landspeeder, Whirlwinds, Terminators in Thunderhawk, Warhound, 2 Thunderbolts, Predator detachment, and that's about it. And here's the Death Corps. So we have Regimental HQ, an infantry company. We have Grenadier platoon. There is 2 super heavy support batteries, which are on the air. We have 1 set of bombards, Death Strike Silo, 2 companies of Death Riders, and 2 Thunderbolts. Then into the deployment. So, first, Landspeeders go in the garrison in the middle, and on Greek side, the AA batteries garrison as well on Overwatch from the Blitz. Then normal deployment. Marines go first with Whirlwinds near the Blitz and with commanding view of the table. Then from Greek infantry company is set up right beside the city. Then the Warhound goes in front of the Whirlwinds, and the Regimental HQ go near the 2nd AA battery on the right, behind the forests. There we go. Then the Devastators, they take a position on the opposite of Regimental HQ, behind a hill. There we go. The Land Rider is not quite in the front, just in case the Death Strike Silo decides to fire it instead of the Warhound. So there was the Death Strike Silo. Then Marines, and they put Predators. And the Grenadiers go on the other side of Silo. Now, since the Imperial Guard doesn't really have any weapons that reaches my deployment zone, I can deploy things in open instead of trying to hide them directly. So tactical goes next to the city. Then bombards are set up in the middle there. And then Death Rider 1 go behind the infantry company. And Death Riders 2 go on the other side of Silo. So basically we'll have an army in the center of the board, facing off at each other, like that. And then we can give a slight closer view of the army. So there is kind of 3 blocks of Imperial Guard, center and flanks with large infantry companies, and the Marines have Warhound and Whirlwinds center with the infantry detachments on surrounding around. So let's go into the turn 1. Marines start and Warhound doubles. It tries to get into the range of doing something before the silo opens up, so kill few infantry units. There we go, and did a damage to the Gorgon, and then the strike silo, sustain fires, and boom goes the Warhound. So tactical Marines then, and tactical doubles, and takes up position in the ruins. There we go. Then the bombards, they sustain fire, targeting the Marines, and kills a couple of infantry plus Razorbacks. Then Thunderbolts 1 from Marines, they go to combat air patrol, and from Krieg, Death Rider 1 engages the tacticals into a clipping firefight. And then the Marines move into support so that as many units as possible get into a firefight. And that goes badly for Krieg as they are beaten back, losing only few units, so not too much. Then the Marines try to activate Thunderbolts 2, they fail, and the Krieg activate Thunderbolts to make a ground attack. They stay within the flak area, so I won't respond with the cap. Now, at this point, I'm kind of frustrated as none of the Imperial Guard is moving forwards, so I decide to go for the Thunderhawk, and this means that land speeders double, fire at the regimental HQ, and then the Thunderhawk retains and makes the air assault. Now they land on the flank, intermingling all three formations, AA, regimental HQ, and the bombards. The AA fires doesn't do any damage, but the Overwatch kills one Terminator, which wasn't what I expected. Well, regardless, there is a small countercharge, and then we go for the resolution. The Gorgon moved ahead to stay in the... if there's second round, then they can engage the land speeders as well. But the Terminators win, reducing the regimental HQ a lot, and they also lose 2 more Terminators. Now the regimental HQ moves to that small area, because the 15 centimeter range from the Thunderhawk and land speeders is basically blocking everything else. And the Terminator breaks and moves within the forest. Then Thunderbolts 2 from Krieg, and they ground attack, targeting the land speeders, and kills 1 unit. From Marines, Devastators then double. They take up positions in the center, getting the Razorbacks within range, and also trying to get the Land Raider within range. And then they open fire at the regimental HQ, doing a few extra damage and killing a couple more units. Then the Grenadiers, and they engage, and they target the land speeders. And land speeders can't countercharge as there is 2 closer units nearby. But the end result is land speeders are wiped, and no losses for the Greek Grenadiers, and they move slightly, consolidate slightly. Then the Predators double from Marines, taking up positions on the hill, and hoping to get some shots at the bombards to wipe them out, and that's exactly what happens. Then the Death Rider 2 from Krieg, and they also engage, and they target the Thunderhawk to prevent it from leaving. And that's exactly the result. No losses. 1 unit was lost from the Death Riders, but nothing major. Then Whirlwinds, which go to Overwatch because they can't reach anything, because none of the Imperial Guard has moved. Then finally something moves, and that's Infantry Company, and they advance. And they also shoot at the tactical Marines, killing 2 units and breaking the formation. So that didn't go well for the Marines. And that's the situation at the end of the turn 1. The Marines have moved up, and the Imperial Guards are just holding their positions. Terminators landed and killed a lot, but also almost got wiped out themselves as well. And the other flank, the tacticals are being beaten back by the Imperial Guards. And that's what it looks like. Very concentrated fight in the center of the board. With the Devastators holding the center. Then turn 2. Marines go first, Devastators advance. I wanted to do sustained fire, but the Land Raider needed to get in front, so I needed to advance. And they fire at the Grenadiers, killing a unit and doing damage to the Gorgon. Then the Terminators retain, and they engage the Death Riders into close combat, and proceed to kick butt and win the combat as well. So, yay! They weren't completely useless even with one unit left. Then, from the Greek, Thunderbolts 1 make a ground attack targeting the Devastators, tacticals, and they kill. They don't actually do anything. Then the Thunderbolts 1 intercept, and they knock out one of the Greek Thunderbolts. Then the A Battery 2 sustain fires at the Terminator, doesn't do anything, and the Predators double. Now they want to get to be able to shoot in the center, and they have to kind of twirl around the canyons to get to the shoot. And they shoot at the Grenadiers, wrecking the Gorgon completely. Then the Grenadiers marshal, but they fail and hold, and then manage to break because they were one blast marker away from breaking, so they move into the forest. Then finally Whirlwinds have a target, and they sustain fire and fail to do any damage. One is killed by the blast marker opening fire. Then the Greek Regimental HQ fails to activate and holds. Thunderbolts make a ground attack on the horses and fail to do anything more than one damage. And then the Greek Thunderbolts attack on east, and they kill one Rhino. Then the Tacticals marshal, using the Supreme Commander reroll because they failed to activate, and just shuffle a bit to keep the Supreme Commander in the center of the formation and remove the blast markers. Then the infantry doubles from Greek, and they move to the forest next to the Devastators and Predators, which is kind of a bad news for the Marines, because they are now moving into position to do fire support. And the Battery 1 doubles, as Marines have run out of activation at this point. And going to the center there. Then they shoot at the Terminators to give blast marker, but also manage to kill an infantry 1 unit. Then the Death Riders 1 engages, and they don't all manage to get in the firefight range, but sufficiently many do, and the Marines fail to kill them, so then the support fire will do a very set of nasty things to the Marines. And the Devastators are mostly dead. One of the Razorbacks survives and moves to the east. Then the Straxalo goes on Overwatch, and in the end phase the Death Riders shuffle in the forest a bit, as they fail to rally, and Grenadiers fail to rally as well, and they just move a little back. Now, I forgot to take the end turn image from turn 2, or the video, so we are going to go directly turn 3 and Marines. And this is the deployment image that I'm using to show the positions of the activation. So first, we'll win sustained fire, targeting the infantry company in the center, killing only few infantry units. Next, Tacticals try to engage using Supreme Commander and fail. And they open fire and kill one more infantry. So this is very bad thing for Marines at this point. So Death Riders 1 engages, and they're trying to think of ways to get into close combat and decide that they're just going to run through the forest, even though they have to make some difficult terrain tests, but it's not that bad. And they proceed to utterly wipe the Predators out. At this point, Marines are basically losing chances on holding things on the board. So first Devastators advance, they move aside and take the control of an objective, and then fire at the A battery, failing to do anything though. Then the A battery sustain fires and kills the Terminator, so that even doesn't go to my way. Then the Thunderbolt 1 make a ground attack, firing at the AA battery, and again not much done. Then the A battery 1 doubles, and it takes control of the objective and break the lone unit there. So at that point it's basically game over for Marines, and the Krieg win the game. At this point we decide to stop us. There is no chance for Marines anymore. So that's what it looks like at the end of the game. The Imperial Guard is moving through the field and Marines are just unable to stop them at this point anymore. And here is the video at the end of the game as how it looks like at that point. So I hope you enjoyed this battle report. It's been a couple of years since I did the last one, so still trying to familiarize myself on how to do this. But maybe I'll do some more this year. So thanks for watching and bye for now.